everyone. My name is Andrew Chapin. Now, everyone hates doing prep because it's boring and it sounds like a lot of work. We'd rather out go play with our buddy Earl and watch the new Avatar movie. And some people prioritize having fun over doing the homework and the studying that needs to be done, even when it's the wrong decision. I've been in school for years and I've taken countless classes. I can't even count how many. But there have been moments where I, myself, prioritized having fun over doing the necessary studying and preparation. Everyone likes to mess around and doesn't like to prepare or do the menial tasks. But preparation is critical to being successful, and if you don't do so, there will be consequences. Today, I will enlighten you with two similar incidences where preparation was discarded and people faced its consequences. The first incident is actually an Aesop fable, The Ants and the Grasshopper, where lack of preparation became fatal. And secondly, I will tell you about a time in my life where I too tasted the cold and bitter sting of lack of preparation. To begin, let's talk about the tragic story of the ants and the grasshopper in Aesop's fable. Now, many of you had already heard this fable, but just in case you haven't, I will tell you about it and tell you the morals interwoven into its words. Now, as was stated by the Library of Congress on Aesop fable, the grasshopper spends all spring dancing and making music, and when winter comes, he has no food collected, and he starves. To go more in depth, as winter is starting to creep in, a lowly grasshopper seeks out ants and asks them for grain to eat. When the ants ask him why he has no food of his own, the grasshopper tells them how he spent all of autumn and spring dancing and making music. The ants saw right through this and realized that he was lazy. They showed zero pity and gave him no food. Because he had no food, he starved in the winter and passed away. Now, in summary, the moral of the story, The Ants and the Grasshopper, is that you must be able to distinguish when it is time to work and when it is time to play in order to be successful. Now, after seeing this more extreme sequence of events, let's dive into a more familiar and something people can relate to more. Last year, I was feeling bold and I decided to sign out for AP Biology. Now, in AP Biology, we have these things called reading quizzes, where you have to take a chapter, read it, and there's a possibility that there is going to be a quiz the next morning. Now, it's not certain, but there's a possibility. And one night, there was a reading quiz assigned. I took my chances and went out and had fun with my friends playing video games, instead of doing the notes and taking the time to prepare for the quiz. The next day, when I came into class, there was a quiz. I wasn't prepared. When we opened up the test, I had no idea what anything was. I was so lost. When it was finally over, I looked at my grade, and I had the worst grade I've ever gotten in the entire class. Now, the moral of the story is, I should have taken the time to prepare and study and take notes on the test, but instead, I took a moment of fun with my friends instead. Now, looking back on it, I've realized that I would have rather taken the time to study and prepare than deal with the anxiety and worry that comes with ill prep. Oh yeah, my story did not have anywhere near the same stakes as the Aesop fable Ants and the Grasshopper did, but they held many similar parallels and universal truths. In summary, as exemplified with Aesop's fable, The Ants and the Grasshopper, knowing the difference between when it is time to play and when it is time to do the work that is necessary is critical to being successful and making it. Now, to wrap things up today, I wanted to leave you guys with a famous quote by Benjamin Franklin. By failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. Thank you. Any questions?